Good morning. Happy Friday, April 24th. I'm here to talk about math with you guys today. So we are going to be doing math lesson 120 today. So if you open your books to page 453, we're on lesson 120, and you guessed it, we have a math test on Monday because every 5 lessons we take a test after that 5th lesson. So today we'll finish out 120, have a math test on Monday, okay? So we're talking again about multiplying decimals. This time the only difference is it's that same multiply then count, just like we learned yesterday. Multiply and then count the number of digits to the right of the decimal, and then go to the right of your product, count in that many to the left, and place your decimal. Same rule applies. However, today we're going to be filling in missing spaces with 0. Okay, if it doesn't change the value, there will be times when we have to do that. All right. So what we're going to be doing today in this lesson is going to take a little time. All right. So when I'm looking at our mental math today, I'm going to go ahead and skip that part today so I can get right to the lesson. I still want you to do all of the mental math. Okay. Not as many today. However, I want you to do it. All right. So I'm going to go right down underneath the mental math box, and I'm going to start reading that paragraph. It says, when we multiply decimal numbers, we follow the rule, multiply then count. We count the total number of digits to the right of the decimal points in the factors. You guys know how to do that. We did it yesterday. Then, starting from the right, we count over the same number of digits in the product to write the decimal point, to place it. Okay, sometimes there are more digits to the right of the decimal point in the factors than there are digits in the product. This is when that 0 comes in. So as you guys can see, we have 3/10 times 3/10. There are 2 digits to the right of the decimal in this answer, or in these factors. And in our answer, in the product, we would have to count over 2 places, but there's a blank there. So what do we do with the blank? We place a 0, as you can see. So when we're looking at this, 3/10 times 3/10, and I know your book already has this, I'm still going to go over it. 3/10 times 3/10. Okay. If we were just to, rather than going through all of the steps, if I just go, well, I know that 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. If I wanted to stop there because I know the rest are zeros, and I see that I have 2 numbers to the right of the decimal, and I only have 1 number here, I'm going to go ahead and place a few more zeros just to hold the place. And I know if I were to go through this whole thing, I would get my zeros anyway. But I'm going to put some zeros in the placeholders. Now I'm going to go over from that last digit, and I'm going to count over 1, 2 places. 1, 2, and then place my 0. And we're going to see that 3/10 times 3/10 gives us 9/100. Okay? That's just kind of a shortcut way to do it if you have zeros. All right. You can also see where it puts it into fraction form next. 3/10 times 3/10, just so it makes sense. I needed to do this several times for it to make sense to me. Okay, because we know that 3/10 decimal looks like this as fraction. Well, when we go to check we could use this to check our answer. When we did the decimals, 3/10 times 3/10, we ended up getting 9/100. Well, let's see. Let's put it in fraction and see. We just simply multiply across. Does our answer come out as 9/100? It sure does. So we know that we did it correct. Okay? All right, I'm moving on. Flipping the page. So we're on page 454. Okay, now we have the example of 12/100 times 3/10. The explanation and the solution for this says we set up the problem as though it were a whole number problem. Remember, I said that in yesterday's video. Ignore the decimal points right now. Set it up as a whole number problem. Okay, we follow the rule multiply then count. We then fill in the empty spaces with 0, and we end up getting a product of 36 thousandths. All right, so when you see that they've set this up, we're just going to treat it as a whole number problem. Remember, we're not lining up those decimals yet. We're just treating it as a whole number problem. And now we're going to do our multiplication. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Now I could stop there, okay, because I know the rest are just going to be zeros. And I could go, well, there's 1, 2, 3 numbers to the right of the decimal. I only have 2 numbers in my digits, so I'm going to throw another 0 in here. However, if I would just had gone through all the way, I could have had my other 0 in there and just put it in. So now I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3 and place it. And I know that this here, I have to put a 0 there just for it to make sense. Okay, so now I know that my answer is 36 thousandths. Okay. So my suggestion to you is if you want to go quick, that's how to do it, or just follow through with your other set of 0 or zeros if you have to, so that you know where to place your decimal. But all you have to do is count 1, 2, 3. If you only have 2 digits, just add another 0 or another 0, however you need to get that decimal placed in. Okay? All right. You have some practice problems here. A, B, C, D, all the way through J. So a lot of practice today. Let's just go over practice problem A together. So we have, again, set this up. We have 25 hundredths multiplied by 3 tenths. Simply set it up as if it were a whole number problem. Forgetting about those decimals right now. We'll multiply and then we'll count. So 5 times 3 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And I kind of know that 25 3 times is already 75. Now I can stop there because there's all these other zeros. Okay, and I can go, well, 1, 2, 3 numbers to the right of the decimal. Starting over here at the right, 1, 2, I need to put another 0 in there. 3 numbers to the right of the decimal. I'm going to place that, and then I'm going to just place another 0 here. Okay, to have it right. And then I have my answer, 75 thousandths. Okay, simple as that. Most of these just go really quickly, really simply. I want to look at D. I'm going to skip ahead to D. So go 5 hundredths times 3 hundredths. Okay, this is practice problem D. I want you to look at this one. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply. I know that 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, and when I'm looking at this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers to the right of the decimal. So rather than doing all of this multiplication of zeros, I'm going to just start here. I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4. Place my decimal, and then put another 0 here. Okay, and then I have it. So that's what your answer would look like for D. I hope this is easy for you guys. I hope that it's not going to be tricky. I'm always available on email if it is. Okay. Today is even lesson, so even numbers. Don't forget to write your fractions as reduced fractions, you guys. Anytime you put a fraction as an answer now, it needs to be in its simplest form. Okay. You're getting really good about it, but I really want you to practice that, please. And that looks like everything. Pay attention to number 12. When you go to set up number 12, you have a whole number of 6, and you're taking 4 and 32 hundredths from it. This is number 12 in your problem set. So you have something that looks like this. Okay. Remember what we need to do with this is we need to insert a decimal and some zeros because we're subtracting now. So we have to make those decimals line up. Because remember, in adding and subtracting, you have to make the decimals line up. Then you'll have to come over here and borrow and do your math. This is number 12. Everything else looks pretty explanatory. Good luck. Have fun. Happy Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. All right, we'll see you guys later.